something. What do we say? Spider-Man,
you know,
coming.
Spider-Man home run.
Something home.
There's multiple. Oh, actually, I think
Spider-Man
there was
Home
one.
Alone or some shit. Like it's going to be something that has the word home in it.
Yeah.
Now this is, I don't know about you guys, maybe my most anticipated movie of this phase.
100%.
When you hear that they obviously like the cliffhanger that was Spider-Man Far From Home, and that his identity has been revealed by Mysterio, we're looking at a potential
A reset of some kind.
some sort of like huge generational film here, because after the success that the like Spider-Verse movie had, the animated
Into the
movie
Spider-Verse,
was
fantastic
probably
movie.
one of the most successful Marvel or Spider-Man properties that has actually been released in the last well, ever. I think that Marvel and Sony have paired up and have really put an idea forth, which is basically a universe, like a Spider-Verse movie, but in live action.
They're literally, it's all in. All the chips on the table. There's going to be so much that they can actually settle with this as well. They're going to be able to bring your boy Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back in as the OG.
Is that not 100% confirmed yet? It's not, but what has been confirmed is that there's villains from these other Spider-Man movies that are reprising their role. So you have Jamie Foxx returning as Electro. Was he anyone's favorite Spider-Man villain? No. But knowing that he could be redone in the MCU in like an alternate version potentially is a big deal. He's a great actor, and if he's signed back on to do this role, it means they've probably given him a script that has really drawn his attention. We also have Alfred Molina returning as Doc Ock. I've heard rumors.
One of everyone's
we've heard
Spider.
that Mary Jane. What's her name? Kirsten Dunst is returning as Mary Jane.
Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
Supposedly as well, the latest rumor for this flick as well is that Charlie Cox's Daredevil from the Netflix series is actually going to be reprising his role for the first time on the big screen as Daredevil.
Itself.
Now, those genres do not line up. Like, obviously, Daredevil is very violent and very, like, serious, like a crime thriller series. And Spider-Man is very PG. But their characters are so deeply intertwined with one another in the comics. He's potentially going to need a lawyer, which we know, like a superhero lawyer, to really vouch on his half. As he's probably going to go into a huge legal dispute about his identity and,
So much. But let's just bring all this together. Everyone is coming back from just about every Spider-Man
I've heard
movie.
as well that apparently Willem Dafoe might reprise his role as Green Goblin.
That's a big one.
And we know that obviously Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock died. So these could potentially be either alternate versions or the same versions returning right before the point of their death.
Now, my 2 cents in this is that it's going to be very small cameos. I reckon it's going to be like it's going to be
the names of those actors. They don't sign on for 5-minute cameos. Those are the kind of people who sign on for like a big portion of the film. But it's
going to be so hard to actually get those guys all into the one movie and try and still give Tom Holland some screen time as well. So my guess is that it's going to be like Doctor Strange maybe open up some portal being like, this is one Spider-Man in one world. Kind of like the intro for Spider-Verse itself.
Yep.
You're going to have that intro of them actually, being Spider-Man, facing off against those villains and being like, so this is what I do. Comes back in.
There's
and
a potential that they're going to go Sinister Six route.
Yeah.
You have Doc Ock. We have Electro. We have Vulture. We have Morbius.
With the villains, most likely that's going to be the case with that. Which will be
and it might be
sick.
3 Spider-Men or even potentially more. They could have Spider-Gwen. They could have Spider-Ham. You know what I mean? As I said, Multiverse of Madness could show all sorts of, like when we saw Guardians of the Galaxy start showing little cameos of like Howard the Duck. That like characters are really weird and wacky.
Another good example, very quick cameo, things like how Guardians will very quickly show a cameo, like
like the Watchers and like
beaming through space sort of thing. Like, that's all it really takes for an appearance like that. So that might be the case for some of these characters, but then also we might have, like you said, the Sinister Six versus the 3 live action Spider-Mans that we all sort of know and love. So this is just going to be
I believe there's already photos of Tobey Maguire going to Marvel Studios to go get fitted for costume fitting. So that's almost totally confirmed that he will return as Spider-Man in some form.
So whether he's the one that's actually
that's probably one of the biggest, I'd say some of the biggest news of that. Like that movie has endless possibilities.
Yeah,
but
we could go on an absolute tangent about that.
Yeah,
but yeah, let's
we'll maybe we'll reprise our, our thoughts on this once they put a trailer out and once we have a little bit more information. I think, as we said, Doctor Strange ties into that as well. Excuse me. But we have back to Disney Plus, which I think is following straight after one.